Greetings of the day. All that we come across in lives is what we look forward to. Why I say this? Because as a teacher, I very strongly believe you make the learner what you expect out of him. And when we talk about this whole concept of the dare to revolutionize, I believe one of the biggest revolution that one can do is that in a country or in a world that is striving to get positions like doctors, engineers, and management trainees, and everything else in the world, the biggest revolution is to decide and be a teacher. Yes, I did that. I decided to be a teacher because I thought this is the best thing I can ever do in life, different from everybody else. Now, I'll give you a very small example. When we talk about revolution, revolution talks about something that you very strongly believe in. Revolution is something that should originate from the core of yourself. You should be possessed by that. In a lighter mode, if I say, rather in an anecdote if I say, I would say that there was a man who was suffering from a very bad headache. So he rushed to the doctor's clinic early in the morning, even before the clinic had opened. As soon as the clinic opened, he sat down, and then the cleaner came. Out of sheer courtesy, the cleaner said, "Good morning, I'm John from Boston." This gentleman who was so possessed, he said, "I'm suffering from headache." That is the kind of possession that you should have if you have an idea, if you have a thought, if you had the basic dare to revolutionize and make a change. And why this revolution? Have we ever thought, where is the need of this revolution? The revolution is required when the climate changes, but recognition of the change is not there. Then there's this one man, that one person, that one woman who picks up the cudgel somewhere and decides to do what is nobody else doing to make the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, students in schools become what you expect of them, is what I said. And that is not something that I have said out of mere guess or just a thought. I'll give you a small example. In one of the schools where I was the principal, we had less than a dozen students passing out the 10th standard. And then the number that went to the 11th grade were just 3 out of those. By the time 2 months passed in the new session, 2 of those children left. Only 1 was there. This one child was a child who had not done very well in his 8th grade, and we had promoted him out of compassion, giving a retest. And to cut a long story short, 1 child, 7 teachers, we decided to make a difference. And the difference is the child completed his IIT in the first attempt, is a chemical engineer working in a very renowned firm. That was the kind of challenge we had taken up. That was the kind of thought that had gone into all the teachers who were teaching him. And we decided we will ensure that this should happen. With a lot of humble pride, I can say, I'm the only principal in the world who has got a 100% IIT placement. Nobody else can say that. But if that would not have been successful, it was a 0%. My question comes on the fact that why don't we have this entire feeling in us that we can be the revolution? Why should we look at somebody else to begin this? Why can't we be that? As teachers, everybody comes around to us. Please counsel my child. Please help my child. Please make them think that they have to become something. How many of us have got this opportunity where a child in your classes or a parent who comes to you says, please help my child become a teacher? Never, or hardly ever. Then, don't you think that we have failed somewhere? Don't you think that when we are going to do something different, only then these children in front of us are going to have the difference and then feel the need to be what a teacher is all about? But that should begin from us. Be the change you wish to see in the world. That's very essential. All aspects of our personalities, the way we dress, the way we talk, the way we walk, the way we interact, everything has got to do about what we are. And remember, it doesn't go without taking a price. If you have to present yourself in a manner that is accepted and actually respected, you have to be that way. And only when you are that way, you can make your children feel the need to be that way. There have been multiple stories about teachers all over the world. Multiple stories about revolutions that have been brought about by the teachers. I remember Chanakya. And that one line of Chanakya when he is talking to the king Dhananand. And Dhananand says that you are an ordinary Brahmin and you have got so much of pride. Chanakya replies, I am a teacher, and a teacher is never ordinary. The exact words that he said was, शिक्षक कभी साधारण नहीं होता. That's the most important part. Nirman, understand this. शिक्षक कभी साधारण नहीं होता. निर्माण और प्रलय उसके गोद में पलते हैं. Growth and destruction, they are in the lap of the teacher. And that is the teacher who makes the difference. And when he was further asked that everybody is asking something, why don't you take something? He said, you cannot give me anything. I will create kings who can take care of me. That is the power that a teacher has. And history tells what Chanakya was. Gentlemen and ladies, we have to understand that we are the prime movers. We shall remain the prime movers for times immemorial. All of us should understand that while everybody was being overtaken by the fear of technology coming all over the place, the advent of Corona, the pandemic, told everybody that the school and the teacher in person can never be done away with. It has to be there, and it will always be there. The teachers have to be there, and they will always be there. Because teacher per se is the beginning of every revolution. That revolution that stirs your mind, that brings about a quiver in your heart, and that makes your foot go forward in a direction of choice, is very essential. Please note, in all the plays that Shakespeare wrote, it was a kind of a revolution. In all the thoughts that Plato gave, it was a kind of a revolution. And everywhere, wherever life has been a difference, there has been a revolution. But the question is, who was Plato before he brought about this revolution? Who was Aristotle? Who was Mahatma Gandhi? Who will we be unless and until we dare to revolutionize? And remember, we don't need a world platform to do that. We can all begin in our own small ways at wherever where we are. At whichever place we are, we can do this and we can go forward. Many of us think where to start, how to start, when to start, who will follow me. Very essential. Identify your passion. Identify your passion through self-awareness. Look at the justification of your thought. See, is it for a larger good or it is just for a personal welfare? And once you have done that, once you have brought it down on these credits and finally decided that this is for the larger good, implement it. And the first person to be implemented is upon you. I remember for a small anecdote, long back, that's a story, that a woman went to Mahatma Gandhi asking him to tell his child not to have jaggery. Mahatma Gandhi said, come back after about a fortnight. And then after a fortnight, the child was brought back, and Mahatma Gandhi said, no, don't eat jaggery. The lady said, what was so great about it that you had to say this? He said, I used to eat jaggery. I wanted to check, can I leave it myself? And once I did it, I have asked your child to do it. It could be just a story attached to a big name. But look at the reality of the fact. You have to first exercise it upon yourselves. When we talk about any revolution, who do we talk about? We talk about people being gathered. No. The revolution is your own senses that need to be gathered. Your own courage that needs to be mustered. Your own mind that needs to be focused. And once we do that, we can make any difference in many lives. And revolution doesn't mean you have to take a country out of some kind of a slavery. Revolution doesn't mean that you have to change the world all over. Revolution could be that one small thing that you bring about or you do for the good of everybody. And that is where I believe all of us can make a difference. Let us all decide that in our own small ways, we shall dare to revolutionize. Thank you very much.